Hey guys, today I'll be showing you a mod called Voxy Rogen, which has a feature that the original mod Voxy doesn't have. Actually, it turns a lot of players away, which is, of course, distant generation, which is what Distant Horizons has. And yes, you can change it for performance if you want to. I'm gonna go ahead and use JOG Thunder for this example. And yes, I am using 1.21.11. If you want to know how to update data packs or even get even better performance with a full breakdown video, let's get this video to 100 likes and I'll make a video on how. Anyways, as you can see, we load into the world, and as you can see, we don't see that far yet. But just give it a second and we'll start seeing super far. Ignore that low battery. That's just an annoying thing on my screen. Anyways, after we reach that, as you can see, it's already doing its thing. If you want to know how fast it's going, on the bottom right, it will show you Voxy Rogen version 2, completed, skipped, and then remaining. As you can see, I'm getting 22 minutes, and I'm running at about 155 chunks per second. And again, it's honestly pretty fast. And as you can see, it says on the bottom right, active 32. I'll show you what that means later and how to get even more performance with this. And the reason why I actually chose not to use this when it first came out is because in V1, it didn't have C2ME support, which is what I use a lot. That's why I stuck to chunky for a while. But again, it's less intuitive because you got to do slash chunky, radius, all that and that. This one actually does something that I've wanted for a long while, is it centers to your player position. And it allows you to walk around and make sure that you have the set radius around you. And it doesn't stop until it reaches that radius around you, which is very useful. And again, it's performant because I'm getting 145 chunks per second on JJ Thunder, which is again the mod that goes all the way up to 2,000 blocks up in the air. Anyways, this is also performance FPS wise. As you can see, I am recording and also using shaders, and I'm still getting around 200 FPS stable with a 1% low of 50 FPS. And without recording, I get around 250 to 300 with a 1% low of about 70 to 80 FPS. And as you can see, we can already see pretty far, which is very useful indeed. But now I'm going to show you what the settings are for this mod, because of course Voxy and Voxy Rogen has to have decent settings, which these are. Each of these settings is very useful. This just enables or disables the mod. Let's say you don't want distant generation anymore because it's too laggy. You can just turn it off. This just shows the F3 menu that we saw down here. This is the distance in chunks and how far it's going to generate. You can set this higher if you go to the config folder and then just change it in there. I've actually set it to 1024, but it said 5 hours before it finished because, you know, the multiply each one by 4 by interval thing, like 128. If you go from 128 to 256, that's going to multiply by 4. Anyways, this is just scanner interval and ticks. This is just how often it's going to detect new chunks, or how detect which chunks to generate. In ticks, again, 20 ticks is 1 second. So right now it's set to 1 second. I don't know if going lower is faster or going higher is faster. I haven't really messed with this one too much. Max queue size, it just basically tells the mod how many chunks it's allowed maximum to save in its pool to make sure to load later, which is basically like, oh, I gotta load this chunk later. Let me put this in the max queue size, or the queue. So then it queues the chunk. As you can see, it's naturally set to 20,000, which is more than enough unless you're a crazy person. We're not crazy, you have a crazy good CPU. And then we have max parallel tasks. This is like the big one. This is what this is the one that basically tells how many chunks can load at once and how fast to load them. The higher, the more chunks you can load at once, but the lower FPS and more stuttery it will get. The sweet spot for me is 32 because I still get 150 chunks per second. If I set it to 64 or 128, it goes to 200 chunks and it just gets too stuttery for me. So I stick it to 32 because it's just a sweet spot for me. This is basically like if you use Distant Horizons, like the CPU performance, like it's like minimal usage all the way to like 100% CPU usage. That's basically what this is. The lower the less chunks you'll get per second, but the more FPS and stability you will have. Again, 32 is my sweet spot. And as you can see, we can already see pretty far with this. This isn't the best. This isn't the best JJ Thunder seed, it looks like. But why am I lagging? Oh, it's using all of my RAM. That's interesting. I have not had that issue before. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's because I'm recording. Trust me, this doesn't usually happen, but you do have to have RAM a little bit high. It is actually using all 12 gigabytes. What the heck? Well, I'll debug that later. This doesn't usually happen. But after that, there's nothing else really about this mod other than one bug that I have found with this mod, which is the fact that if you leave a world, it's like, oh, I don't like this seed. Let me try generating a new world. We switch, we go to a new world. I'm not going to use JJ Thunder just for this example. We join. We go ahead and get in. As you can see, we're in. Let it load for a second. We go over here. As you can see, it's generating over there now. And that is because it doesn't really detect that you switch worlds. So it's just continuing off where it last was, which was, it was generating on this side over here on JJ Thunder's world. And the easiest way to actually fix this bug is just by quitting the game. So it refreshes the RAM, relaunching it, and just relaunching the world. And I'm just going to prove to you that this does work. Once it loads, please load. There we go. If you also want to know how to get the most performance you can get out of your computer for Minecraft chunk loading, if we reach like 100 likes on this video, I'll give a full detailed video on how to get the most performance out of your game and how to load chunks really, really fast for mods like Voxy. But if we rejoin, as you can see, those are still going to be there because those are already loaded. But if we go over here, as you can see, it is now starting from the beginning again because it detected that, hey, these chunks aren't actually loaded because it refreshed the RAM. The RAM is what saves the data on where to continue off. But you can see it's like, oh wait, these ones aren't loaded because we reset the RAM and it continued. Is that a trial chamber right there? Oh, that's funny. Anyways, I think that is about it for the video. There's, again, nothing really else I want to about this mod. It's a very simple one, but very useful one. It's very useful for the mod Voxy, which is my favorite mod. It is my favorite mod if you haven't noticed. Anyways, if you want, again, if you want me to make a full breakdown on how to get the most performance in your game with keeping shaders and fast chunk speeds, I will be more than happy to make that video, but I need to know that you guys actually want me to make it. So 100 likes and I'll show you guys how to like increase your chunk speed. For me, I increased it by about 4 times faster. So if you want a video on that, just make it 100 likes and I'll start working on it. Well guys, I'll see you later and peace.